Okay, year 11, I'm just going to make a quick YouTube video or YouTube clip for some of the questions here. I'm not going to do all of them, I'm just going to do some of them. So I'm going to start, I'm going to do, oh my gosh, 4D looks hard. I'm going to do 4B and 4D. You can have a go at 4E. So let's have a look at this. So 4B. And I've got a squared minus 5a over y squared minus 4y plus 4. Now straight away, I'll do divided by 3a minus 15 over y squared minus 4 times y squared minus y minus 2 all over 5ay. Just double check I've got the right one. A squared minus 5a, 3a minus 15, y squared minus y minus 2, y squared minus 4y plus 4, y squared minus 4, 5ay. Right. So what do? A squared minus 5a over y squared minus 4y plus 4. Well, the first thing I do, I don't divide fractions. I multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal is y squared minus 4 on 3a minus 15. Then I've got this times y squared minus y minus 2 all over 5ay. Now I'm going to factorise so that I can cancel. So just going along the top, I'm going to take the a out of that. I'm going to get a minus 5. This is the difference of two squares, the next one, so it's y plus 4, y plus 2, y minus 2. And over here I've got a quadratic trinomial. I wonder what multiplies out to minus 2 and adds up to minus 1. Well, I reckon it's going to be y minus 2, y plus 1. Now along the bottom, here I've got another quadratic, and it's a perfect square. It's y minus 2 all squared. Right, multiplies out to 4. Okay. Let's take the 3 out of this, and I'll get a minus 5. And let's take, that's 5ay. I can't do anything with that. Okay, so what can we go? So all we start doing now is cancelling. So a minus 5 goes with a minus 5. Y minus 2 goes with one of the y minus 2's. Y minus 2 goes with the other y minus 2. A goes with the a. And I'm pretty sure that's all we've got. I'll just put my battery in. And that will give us, what do we got on the top? We've got a y plus 2. And we've got a y plus 1. And on the bottom, I've got 3 times 5 and a y. Now I'm just going to get the answers to make sure I'm right. And we're doing exercise 2. What are we doing? 2.17 or 2.17. And we're doing question 4, y plus 2, y plus 1 over 15y. Beautiful. Let's have a look at 4D. Well, actually, I'll go 4C. What have I got? 3 on x minus 3 plus 2x plus 8 on x squared minus 9 times x squared plus 3x over 4x minus 16. Righto, I've got to do the multiplication first, so I'm just going to leave that addition alone. So I get 3 on x minus 3 plus, now I'm going to do this multiplication, but before I do that multiplication, I'm just going to do some factorising. I'll take the 2 out of the x plus 2x plus 8 and get 2x plus 4. I'm going to, x squared plus minus 9 is x plus 3, x minus 3, that's a difference of 2 squares. At the top here, I'm going to go x out of x plus 3. And on the bottom here, I'm going to take 4 outside of x minus 4. Did I write that right? Because I'm thinking that that should be... Oh, that's right. Yep. Okay, so now I'm just looking at this part to see what can cancel. And I get an x plus 3, cancels. I can get the 2, goes into that, and I get 2. And that's about it. I was hoping the x minus 4 might cancel, but it doesn't. So here we go. I've got 3 on x minus 3. I'm going to put that in brackets. I'm going to leave a bit of a gap because over here I've got x plus 4 on the top times x, and on the bottom I've got 2 x minus 3 x minus 4. So to get a common denominator here on this side before I can add them, I'm going to have to get the same denominator. Well, what do I need to multiply? I need to multiply by a 2 and an x minus 4. So 2x minus 4. Now I'll put a 2x minus 4 there. So I'm going to get 6, oops, go back to my black pen, outside of x minus 4, all over 2x minus 3, x minus 4, plus x plus 4, over 2x minus 3, x minus 4. Well, now they've got the same denominator, I can add them. 6x minus 24, I expanded that, plus x squared plus 4x. And they've all got the same denominator, 2x minus 3, x minus 4. Well, tidy that up, I get x squared plus 10x minus 24 over 2x minus 3 x minus 4. And if I factorise the top, oh well, no, that's it. That's the answer. That's it. All right, let's have a go at another one. So I did B, I did C. Let's have a go at E. You can do D on your own. So E is x squared minus 8x plus 15. I'm going to be going back and forth if I do it this way, so I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to write it over here and then expand it. So 4E. And what have I got? I've got x squared minus 8x plus 15 over 5x squared plus 10x think that's divided by x squared minus 9 on 10x squared times x squared plus 5x plus 6 over 2x minus 10. All right, so I don't divide, so I'm going to just turn that second one upside down. So x squared minus 8x plus 15 over 5x squared plus 10x times 10x squared on x squared minus 9 times x squared plus 5x plus 6 over 2x minus 10. And because it's all multiplied, I can just cancel to my heart's delight here. So I'm going to factorise the top. What multiplies out to 15 adds up to 8? I reckon x minus 5, x minus 3. There's a nice quadratic. That 10x, that's just going to, 10x squared, that's going to stay there. What multiplies out to 6 and adds up to 5? I reckon x plus 3, x plus 2. Here, I can take 5x out of that and get x plus 2. Here, that's a difference of 2 squares, x plus 3, x minus 3. And here I can take the 2 out and I'll get x minus 5. Now, I just cancel away. The x minus 5 goes with the x minus 5. The x minus 3 goes with the x minus 3. The x plus 3 goes with the x plus 3. The x plus 2 goes with the x plus 2. The x goes with one of the x's there. The 2 times 10 goes into that. And would you believe it? Would you believe it? I'm just left with x on 1. And so the answer to that whole thing, I'm pretty sure, is just x. Now, let's have a look at 5. So these are going to be hard because you're going to need common denominators. So I'll start the first one off for you, and I'll do the last one, and you have a go at the other ones. So 1a, this is pretty tricky. So 5a. So I'm going to rewrite it. So over here, I'm going to use the actual hard copy of the book to get it. So it's 1 on x squared minus 7x plus 10 minus 2 on x squared minus 2x minus 15 plus 4 on x squared plus x minus 6. Now, I'm going to want to get a common denominator. So I'm going to factorise each of those and see what happens. So what multiplies out to 10 and adds up to 7? Well, I reckon x minus 2, x minus 5. I've got 1 over the top of that. What multiplies, and I've got a minus sign here, what multiplies out to 15 and adds up to minus 2? Well, I reckon x minus 5, x plus 3. I got a 2 on top of that. Now my last one, what multiplies out to 6 and adds up to 1? Well, I reckon x plus 3, x minus 2. Right. So if I look along the bottom here, we've got an x minus 2 and x minus 5. We've got an x minus 5 and x plus 3. And we've got x plus 3, x minus 2. So they're almost the same. But what I need to do here is I need to get an x plus 3. And what I need to have here is an x minus 2. And what I need to do here is get an x minus 5. Well, I can do that, and I will get common denominators. Let's just get rid of that plus sign and move it back a little bit. X minus 2, the plus sign back. Let's move this plus minus sign, put it there. And I'm going to put my x plus 3 there. So what do I get? Well, this is pretty easy. I get an x plus 3. I have an x minus 2, x minus 5, x plus 3, minus 2, x minus 2 on an x minus 2. Smart people would have avoided this. X minus 5, x plus 3. And I get a 4, x minus 5. And an x minus 2, x minus 5, x plus 3. So now I've got the common denominators, I can put it all together. So it equals x plus 3 minus 2x. Be careful here, minus 2 times minus 2 plus 4 plus 4x minus 20. And I've got the same denominator now, I only have to write it once. X minus 2, x minus 5, x plus 3. I've got an x minus a 2x, it's minus 1x, plus a 4x gives me 3x. I've got a 3, a 4, and a minus 20, so 3 plus 4 is 7, minus 20 is minus 13, all over x minus 2, x minus 5, x plus 3. And I go to the answers. Question 5, 3x minus 13, x minus 5, x minus 2, x plus 3. Whew. Let's go to the next one. Now I said I'd do E, 5E. So you can have a go at the middle three. What have I got? X plus y on x minus y plus x. They're being tricky here. Y minus x minus y and y squared minus x. They're being tricky. All right, this is going to be hard. X plus y, and the first thing, and this is awful, because I know what they're going to do here. They're going to take a negative out of the bottom. All right, they're going to take a negative out of the bottom. All right. And by the way, that's squared. So x minus y, that's all right. Plus, now watch this. This is tricky. I'm going to take a negative out of the bottom, and that's going to give me negative y plus x. I took a negative out of the bottom. Leave the top alone. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to take a negative out of the bottom. So I'm going to negative, and I'm going to get negative y squared plus x. Because of x squared. Because the negative just changes it. This is way too tricky. So I get x plus y, x minus y. Now, I can take this negative and put it up the top. Same here, I'm going to take this negative and put it up the top. So I get plus minus x. Now on the bottom, these two things are atoms, so I'm going to write them as x plus x minus y. I'm going to get minus minus. And on the bottom, these I'm going to get x squared minus y squared. Told you they were being tricky. This is way too tricky. X plus y on x minus y. Well, these two signs together make it a negative. X minus, sorry, and that should be, yeah, that's x minus y. And that's going to be, these two signs together make it a plus. And now I'm going to factorise the bottom. I get x minus y, x plus y. Which means all I have to do to these two to get a common denominator, I'm just going to get rid of that minus sign and make it smaller. I'm going to get rid of this plus sign and make it smaller. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply this bottom bit by x plus y and x plus y to get a common denominator. I'm going to do the same here, x plus y and x plus y to get a common denominator. And there's my common denominator. Okay, so what do I get now? Equals x plus y, because it's multiplied everything on top, x plus y, minus x plus y, and this y just stays. And I've got on the bottom x minus y, x plus y, on the bottom x minus y, x plus y, on the bottom x minus y, x plus y, which equals x squared plus 2xy. And I'm going to just write this over one big fraction now because it's the same thing, x minus y, x plus y. I've got to be careful here. This negative is going to play some havoc here. So negative x times x squared and negative x times y. So that's going to give me minus x squared minus xy. And then I've just got a plus y here. So what do I get? Well, x squared minus x squared goes. 2xy minus xy gives me minus, 1xy, just 1xy. I got plus a y over x minus y, x plus y. And that's not the answer. I must have messed up. Don't make me do this whole thing again.